Can you hear me now? Someone give me a hello, you can hear me, and I'll be really happy. Can anybody hear me? Maybe I'll do sign language. If you can hear me, I'd love to someone just to tell me. Oh, wonderful. Okay, let's start all over again. Nothing like a rerun. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Leonie Featherstone and I work with the beautiful doTERRA essential oils. But something that you will now know about me is that I'm not 100% tech savvy. And so I had to take my laptop into town yesterday and I forgot to plug the sound back in. But anyway, all good. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Hi, Diana. Thank you so much. Hello, Sally. I hope you're all hearing me loud and clear. So what we're going to be talking about today is sense of alignment. And I'd love to know what that means to you. When I'm talking today, I use a lot of oils and I talk about the emotional aspects of the oils and how that can serve you. I also do some cards. So I've got some beautiful oil cards. I'm happy to pull one for you and interpret that and add in a bit of my own life wisdom and thoughts on that. So if you'd like that, just drop that in the chat and I'll write those down and come back to them. But the more you interact with me, the more fun we have. And so, sense of alignment, what does that mean to you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. To me, it's about, there's so many aspects, but to me, it's about aligning our mind, body, spirit. And the oils are wonderful for helping us do that. It's about asking ourselves really good questions like, are the commitments I'm making to other people in alignment with my values? Do you guys have a list of the values of things that are important to you? We did that last week. We talked a lot about values. What about are the words I'm speaking in alignment with my actions? Are my feelings, my inner feelings being reflected by what I'm doing? If I am about honoring other people, am I also honoring myself? So it's having that balance is probably another word for it. Absolutely, Nikki, love to do a card for you, and Fiona and Sally. Perfect. So before we get started, if you can be starting to think about, are you feeling that your life is in alignment? And if not, why not? Let's explore that. But I always like to draw a few cards for the collective. And I've done this from a couple of decks. I love Brendan Burchard, who wrote the Motivation Manifesto, and I've done some work with him. This card is freedom and victory belong to those who remain strong and true despite temptation. And the way I'm interpreting that today is that we need to remain true to our values, true to what is important to us, and not be swayed from that. So then I pulled a card from the beautiful Gabrielle Bernstein, and this says, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So my interpretation of that in respect to being in alignment is that when I focus on my needs and shining my light and being the most amazing being I was meant to be, I see others much more lovingly. So the world is a much nicer place. And then I drew the beautiful oil card. And the oil for us collectively, my friends, is cilantro. Now, I had a bit of a love-hate relationship with cilantro too, until someone encouraged me to try it as food flavoring. And I put it in my hummus, and now I'm absolutely addicted. And at the time, I didn't know much about the emotional aspects, but when I read about them, I realized, because, cilantro is about letting go of control. And I am a bit of a perfectionist and a bit of a control freak in a lot of ways. But, when we totally know our own values and we are focused on what we believe is our purpose, we can let go of a lot of other things and then just trust. So the cilantro card that I've drawn is really just helping us to let go of that worry and control that's based in fear. And it's helping us to just step into that freedom that arises from being too caught up in trying to control every single little thing. So we're creating a release from all aspects of wanting to control life and the outcomes. And this helps to release heavy burdens and live a life of freedom. And the way I see it is that when we get really clear on who we are and what we value and where we want to go in life, it's kind of like the universe does have our back then. It will take care of some of those details for us and support us without us needing to get caught up in that fearful worrying all the time. And so there's always a centering thought with these cards. And so the centering thought is, I create freedom to honor myself and all that I am. I release the need to control. I probably needed to control my sound today, but anyway, I'll just tuck that away for later to check, to be prepared. And the affirmation is, this is a question. There's always a question for my new friends on here today. There's always a question for us to ask ourselves in a positive way. So why is it so easy for us to create a strong and solid foundation for life? So they're the three cards I want to start with today. And so, oh, Janet, hi, Janet, lovely to have you on too. You'd like a card. So I'm going to start with a card for my beautiful friend Nikki. And maybe, again, just think about, pop me a comment about where, if you feel your life is in alignment, you know, are you in balance, and what does that mean to you? And if not, what is out of balance? Because that's something we can work on. Hello, Mandy. Where are you from, Mandy? Drop us a note and let me know where you're from. I like to know where all our beautiful friends are from. So, Nikki, we're going to do a card for you. We're going to just shuffle these up. And draw a card. And Nikki, you have our beautiful Ddr Prime blend. And this is we like to think about this as really supporting our cells totally, this blend. Okay. And let's look at what this is saying to you, Nikki. It's really interesting because what this blend does physically is just help us to detox. It helps to support our structures. It helps, you know, for repair and rejuvenation of our cells. And so on an emotional level, Nikki, just encouraging you to let go of any sort of remnants of toxicity that might be lying around in your body from thoughts or emotions that have gone with the struggles that you've had. It's also letting go of any patterns that may have been taking place over the years. And this will support you with this, because when we let go of those old patterns or those old emotions or toxic thoughts that have pervaded our being, and sometimes that's coming from outside in, sometimes that's ourselves towards ourselves, we can actually free up a lot of space for renewal, for transformation, for growth and repair. And so this is creating healing and repair from the damage of generational patterns that we brought through from our family and friends. And the centering thought, Nikki, is, my body is renewed with health and strength. I am transformed into a healthy state of being. Isn't that great news? And your question to ask yourself, Nikki, is, why is it so easy for me to create positive transformation in my life? So let me know how that resonates with you, Nikki. Oh, you're in Sydney, Janet. Hope everything's going well down there. I know our country's been thrown in a bit of turmoil with border closures and all this sort of happening, but I hope you're all finding a way to create peace in your own inner world. And I have to say, that's what I love about my essential oils and working on the emotions, is that I'm learning that I can regulate my emotions and bring in the oils to bring in those feelings of joy that I want, or to ease my struggles or ease my stress. So that's really good. Okay, right, Mandy, I've got you down. Yes, fantastic. Okay, so when I'm talking about balance, no one's telling me what that kind of means to you, but I want you also to think a little bit more broadly, because if our body is out of alignment, it could be that, you know, our hormones are out of alignment. You know, maybe you find times of the month when you're totally out of aligned and somebody else takes over. I taught a live class with a group yesterday called Ditch the Witch and Calm the Farm. And we were, not my words, I borrowed them from other people, but it was about looking at the areas of our life that are out of alignment and our moods are taking over in ways that we don't want them to. So the oils can be really powerful. But one oil that I do want to recommend that everyone bring into their life is an oil it's a blend. It's a doTERRA blend called Balance. And as the name suggests, it is very much about helping us just to, in amidst the madness or mayhem or whatever you're living in, we can just ground ourselves. It's a very grounding blend. It has the beautiful frankincense. It has spruce and hoe wood. And if we think about the trees, and some of you know I'm a treeaholic, when we look at nature and just sit with nature, we can ask ourselves, what are the lessons that nature wants me to learn today? And if you look at a tree, the reason that a big, tall tree like a spruce can stay standing upright, it's because it's got its roots firmly tucked into the ground. And so it's inviting us, this balance blend is inviting us to just be still, to connect with our roots and to know that we are safe and that we can be still, just to be in this craziness that's going on, and just listen to the stillness and maybe the messages that we receive from ourselves and from our outer wisdom as well. So balance is a beautiful blend, just to sort of get us into that stillness. But also another blend that I wanted to bring in was the beautiful adaptive. Now adaptive is a blend and it has some powerhouse oils in there, but what it's going to do is it's actually just going to help us adapt to all the changes that are going on. And it has some citrus in there, it has some lavender, copaiba, just sort of soothing, nurturing oils. Also, like copaiba is inviting us to go within and just have a little look at what's going on and ask ourselves, take a closer look. So, it's asking us, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid to change? And I think that sometimes when we're feeling a bit out of alignment or out of balance, there's some fear about stepping forward or fear about making changes that may be required. So I really want to encourage you to investigate those blends. Now, the exciting thing about the adaptive blend, and those of you on here who maybe are new to doTERRA and you don't have a beautiful doTERRA person looking after you, connect with me, because we're giving that away free this month. Anyone who grabs their starter pack. So you can have this beautiful adaptive blend to take with you and help you through those moments when you may be needing to cope with various changes. Hi, Kerry. How are you? Lovely to have you on. So I guess I talked about questions, and I think that when we are feeling that little bit of, when maybe your tummy's starting to churn, or maybe just feeling a little bit cautious and you're feeling like things aren't in balance, is, just asking yourself questions like, am I now ready? Am I ready? Or what am I fearful of? Or am I listening to my inner voice? Am I living consistently with what I set out to do? Ask yourself these sorts of questions to just do a little bit of a check. And if you be still, you'll hear an answer come back. So while you're thinking about that, we're going to draw a card for Fiona. Fiona lives out in Mount Isa, my old hometown, which is awesome. I'm sorry you're feeling sad, Fiona. Let's see what we can find for you today. You have the lovely Douglas fir. Again, as I mentioned, I love trees. So with Douglas fir, as with a lot of the fir oils, they're very energizing, and I love the story. I may have shared this before. I read somewhere about it. A lot of times you'll find the animals sleep under the fir trees at night, and it's kind of where they're picking up their energy. So Douglas fir, Fiona, is just asking you to maybe just let go of any old patterns that are making you feel undervalued, that are not allowing you to see your worth, that are weighing you down, to let go of those and just to, allow your own wisdom to shine and to allow space for growth. So this is going to create for you, Fiona, the ability to be taught great wisdom through your life experiences. And when we look at those experiences of the past, or maybe those generational patterns, just to look back, not with regret, but to look back for the lesson and to take that lesson forward. And your centering thought, Fiona, is, I have the courage to be a change maker and chain breaker. I create change within my family. And your question is, why is it so easy for my family to heal? So put some Douglas fir in the diffuser. Have it. You might want to add a citrus with it. That often sort of, adds a new zest to it. You could just put a drop in your hands, and this goes for all of you guys with your oils. We like to use the ultrasonic vibration diffusers to disperse that beautiful aroma in the air. But if you don't have one, these are your personal diffusers. You can put a drop in the palm of your hand, rub it together, cup it around your nose, and inhale deeply, and that becomes your way of diffusion. So, Fiona, yours was Douglas fir. Okay, Hello, Amanda. Yes, definitely. I will write your name down. Awesome. So has anyone had any thoughts about where they don't have the balance in their life? Pop that in. Oh, Mandy, you're from Melbourne. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so the other couple of questions I was thinking about you might want to ask yourself is, who is tipping me out of balance, or what is it that's tipping me out of balance? Because, sometimes you just need a different question. Maybe you want to ask, see, to me, alignment is all about integrity, having integrity with ourselves. And quite often we are so service orientated and, we're being filled with integrity to other people, but we're actually hurting ourselves. So, am I treating myself the way I would want to treat others? There's some other questions for you. So to look for those gaps. Fiona, you're using Douglas fir now. Excellent. I think that's what you meant. Wonderful. So who have we got next on our list? Sally. I'll do a card for Sally, and then I want to talk about, for those of you who are new, I always come up with a blend to match our topic, and then I have an affirmation blend as well. An affirmation to go with that blend. So who have we got next? Sally. Sally, looking at my list, just making sure I've got the right person. So Sally, the oil that I've pulled for you is called In Tune. It's another blend, and this is a powerful blend. It has some calming oils in there. It has the beautiful sandalwood in there. It has lime as well, and a number of other oils. So this is going to just help you. Maybe at the moment you've got something, and I can't remember if you left me a note, but going on that's distracting you. You're feeling like you're not completing things. Maybe there's you might be just feeling a bit scattered, a bit disconnected. This will just help you to bring you into the present moment, to help you to focus on what it is that you're wanting to focus on. And it's also helping to bring that connection with mind, body, spirit. So this is our In Tune blend. And what we're doing here is just inviting you, Sally, to get centered and focused, and stay in the present moment and feel more grounded. And when you're feeling more grounded, it's almost like you can see the next step. And your centering thought is, I create a life of focus and direction. I live in the present moment. And your question, Sally, is, why is it so easy for me to stay focused and connected? So this In Tune blend has been found to be very powerful for some of our very active little children who find it hard to sit in the one spot and maybe focus at school. And for those schools that allow the oil to be taken to school, sometimes they're allowed to leave it with the teacher, and the teacher will reapply it, or they reapply it, up behind their ears, maybe along their spine if they can reach that. At home, you can certainly do that. I've also had big dump truck drivers in the mines using this to help them focus, because when you're driving and you're doing those long shifts, you have to be really, really on top of what you're doing. And it really scares me to think about those ladies and guys in those trucks, because they have to back up to that big edge and dump out all that stuff, and you think you really wouldn't want to make a mistake. So it's not just for the emotional side. There's some real strong physical benefits to these oils as well. Kim, okay, we'll come to you. So that's stuck in. Okay, Kim, I'll come back to you when we get to that. Great. So the focus blend can be a great study buddy helper. So if you've got children doing exams, or maybe you have a lot of office work to do, that would be the blend I would pull out. It does have patchouli in there, which is a very strong oil. So if you are going to use it, make sure you like it, because it'll stay with you the whole day. Okay, so I want to talk to you about putting oils together, and I like to do this in a number of ways, and I'm just talking about from an emotional aspect at the moment. So sometimes I will think about what I want, the mood I want to create, or maybe the emotions I want to support, and then I will go to those oils that I know will do that. Other times I'll just think, okay, maybe I'll put some ginger and cassia together, which is what happened today when I was thinking about alignment. And so the blend I have chosen for you today is ginger. I've written it down here, so let me just have a look. Ginger, cassia, fennel, and wild orange. Now, let me tell you why I chose those. Now, cassia is not a normal, run-of-the-mill type of oil. It's actually related to cinnamon. It has quite a sweet aroma, and it's very, very strong. And it's fantastic to use in your food flavoring. If any of you budding chefs are out there, it's a great one to use. It's sort of sweetish, but it's quite warming as well. But cassia, we like to think of cassia is the oil of self-assurance. And if you think of cassia, you often think of you buy a little stick and it's rolled up. It's like rolled up bark. And if you think about the bark around the tree, it's like that protection. And so think about cassia just holding you in a really warm hug and assuring you. So it's all about self-assurance and courage to see the amazing heart and soul that you have, and to see those talents, and just to sort of help you to stop hiding and to step out of the dark and step into your own magnificence. And so letting go of fear, understanding that it's okay to make mistakes. Sometimes the perfectionist in me needs a bit of cassia. So knowing that, you know what, just have a go, and that you can actually then change if it doesn't work out the way you want, because mistakes are just part of the learning process. So cassia is very much about encouraging us to have confidence to make that change if we are feeling out of balance. And then ginger, my good friend ginger. Wow, ginger is like so warming. It's great actually for if you need a really warming massage. You could add it into some fractionated coconut oil and help those sort of joints that need a bit of love. But on an emotional level, it's really empowering. It's like just giving you that, we like to say, that warrior-like spirit to show up and really get out there and have a go. And it's kind of like pointing you to where all of your talents lie, so giving you access to them. So it's really empowering you and saying, let go of any victim mentality. You've got this. And then I've popped in there fennel. So fennel we often use in our food flavoring as well. And it's wonderful for the digestive system. It really supports that. So it makes sense to put it in food, doesn't it? However, it's also about helping us to take responsibility for our own actions and to digest whatever is going on around us and know that we have that capability of doing so. It's also about taking responsibility and ownership for our life. We can't just leave our life in the hands of other people. We have to take those steps. We have to know who we are, what we stand for, what we want out of life, and do something about it. So it's really like just strengthening your backbone. And then I've thrown in there one of my all-time favorites, which is wild orange, the oil of joy and abundance. And this is really to say, guys, just let go of any scarcity mentality. It is all there. It's all low-hanging fruit on the tree. And as I keep saying with the wild orange tree, it doesn't care who takes the fruit, and it just keeps fruiting. So we don't have to worry about anything running out or who gets what. There is abundance there for you and me to take. Just reach up, take it off the tree. So when we put all of these oils together, I feel like this is a really warming, encouraging, assuring blend. And so my affirmation to go with that, because it's really good to have an aromatic anchor. So when you come up with some words that have meaning to you, and you can pair that up with a blend, then you can create more power. And it's so often the case, if you're out and about and you can't reach your blend, you can recite the affirmation. It's almost like bringing the feeling that blend brought to you back again. So my affirmation, and these are my words, you're welcome to use them, or you can just create your own, is I am balanced, I am joyful, I am living in alignment with my values. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because gratitude and joy are so critical to the recipe for life success, in my humble opinion. So that's my blend, my sense of alignment blend and affirmation to go with it. And so let me just have a look. Okay. Fiona, I'll come with regards to how much oil you need. It depends on your diffuser. If I was putting it in a diffuser, depending on the size of the room, I would just try less is more. So try a couple of drops first. And particularly if you're using it topically, some carrier oil and just one drop to start with. That would be my recommendation. Excuse me. Okay, so let's do a card for Janet. Janet, I hope Janet's still with us. This is being recorded, so if you had to hop off, you can always come back later. Kerry, yes, I would definitely love to do a card for you. So we'll just write your name down. I have to write your names down because I get carried away talking and I forget. Okay, so Janet, you have another doTERRA blend, which we call Purify. Okay, so it's quite interesting today that a lot of our oils that we're choosing are talking about kind of letting go of all patterns or letting go of toxic thoughts. And Purify is very much a blend that helps or encourages you, Janet, to let go of any kind of toxic thoughts. Let go of feeling stuck in the one place, and to encourage you to look for that positive change and to know that positive change can come, that it can flow, that your life can flow. You can get out of those stuck habits. And I think whenever we are encouraged to let go of old stuff, Janet, remember it's leaving room for new. So it's all about purifying by letting go of the old, taking the lessons, but then freeing up space for renewal and for new opportunities and new experiences to come in. And so this is going to create, just so that you know, I kind of speak from what I know and then I'll read portions of your card as well. So sometimes there's an overlay. This is going to create a purification of the toxic energy and emotions we have clung to. Helps us to let go and create a space for new possibilities. So that's what I was just saying before, Janet. And your centering thought is, I release all the negativity that has held me back from moving forward. I release all toxic patterns in my life. And I want to just say there, Janet, sometimes we hold on to stuff unknowingly. Maybe when we're not in an aware state, and sometimes it's subconscious. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't know of any negative thoughts or patterns or whatever, that's okay. Just acknowledge you're going to let them go, because maybe they're just lying somewhere there that you haven't observed, or maybe they're lying around you that you haven't observed. And so your question, Janet, is, why is it so easy to open my life to all possibilities? And I hope that is resonating with you. Can I just tell you, Purify actually has cilantro in it as well, and it's quite pungent, but it is the best blend I find for eliminating odors that you do not want. And so if you've had a fishy meal and it's hung around in the house, or if you want, I actually make up a little spray for that, the smallest room in the house. I make up a spray and I put Purify. I put another of our very powerful blends called On Guard, which is another really cleansing blend, together with water in a spray bottle and just spritz. So everyone, after they've used that little room, they can spritz, and hey presto, it helps to eliminate those odors. So you'll often see with these oils that there is a parallel with the physical use and the emotional as well. So Janet, I hope that resonated with you, and I write down the ones that I pull for you in case you want to connect with me later about getting them. And remember, if you I can't remember, I said it when I was on with no sound, but the beautiful adaptive blend, which is fabulous for change and helping us to bring our lives back into alignment and deal with whatever's going on, we're actually giving that away free this month. And if you don't already have a doTERRA person looking after you, just reach out to me, because I'd love you to be able to get hold of that. You just get your starter pack and that gets added in free. Okay, so who did we have next on the list? We had Mandy. Now I just want to make sure, because I've got an Amanda and a Mandy. Yes, Mandy Donahue. Okay, let's see what we can get for you, Mandy. One of the questions you might want to ask yourself too is, what needs to change in my life so that I am open to divine inspiration, so that I'm open to divine guidance? Sometimes we're closing down parts of ourselves that we don't realize. And I've got a couple of oils that I want to talk about to help you in a minute to let go. So I'll just do this card for Mandy. Okay, so Mandy, you have the beautiful Easy Air blend, which is our respiratory blend. And this has some beautiful oils in it: tea tree, lemon, peppermint, ravensara, cardamom. They're all very supportive of the respiratory system. However, with this on an emotional level, Mandy, sometimes in life, and you might be going through this right now, we can feel almost clogged. We can feel closed off, suffocated with either sadness or confusion or just overwhelm, and we're just feeling really stuck. And so what this is helping us to do, and helping you to do, Mandy, is just kind of let go of that, to breathe. We really need to breathe. Watch your breath, and just to open up. You may have shut down a little bit. Open up. Expel all that old energy, those old situations, those old thoughts, and breathe in new life and be prepared for that new change. Again, it's about letting go. We need to let go of what is not serving us. And this is often what is keeping us out of alignment, because maybe you're hanging on to stuff that you feel you should, that awful word that takes us prisoners, should do. Let go, because you cannot be in alignment if you are holding on to things that do not serve you. And so this is going to give you the ability, Mandy, to breathe through life's ups and downs. It's going to help you let go of that overwhelming grief. And grief can be in relation not just to loss of a human. It could be loss of a position. It could be loss of a house. It could be loss of a friend. It could be loss of responsibility. It could be anything, whatever. You are probably picking up on something here, Mandy. Let go of that overwhelming grief and open up the space to release heartache and loss that is surrounding that situation. Your centering thought, Mandy: it is safe for me to open up and release all the emotions that weigh me down. I am open and free. So I hope that resonates, Mandy. Do let me know if these are resonating with you. And one of the things with Easy Air, this is one of the oils that I think everybody needs, because we go through, whether it's a physical, we're compromised physically, and our lungs are kind of not working the way they want. We need to open up and free them, or whether it is emotionally. But particularly on a physical level, I love this because it can be used in so many ways. If I am feeling a little bit closed down or not breathing as freely, I can put a drop in the palm of my hand. Breathe it in, and it helps to open me up. I can add some fractionated coconut oil and make a little chest rub. I can rub it on the feet of my little ones and help them in that way. So there's so many different ways, or just put it in the diffuser. In fact, it's quite interesting, because when we are anxious and nervous, and this might be a case if you're feeling out of alignment at the moment, we often kind of like go stiff and our chest closes off. And I remember in a previous town I lived in, my dentist got a diffuser and some oils off me, and he chose to diffuse Easy Air in the waiting room, which was really smart, because when you're feeling anxious, you struggle to breathe. So this oil, when you're breathing in, it just helps you to relax and to open up and get more breath in. So there's a couple of physical ways that you can use those oils as well. A couple of key oils I want to talk about today, because often when we're out of alignment, I think sometimes, and you can show me your comments. Oh, hi, Justine. Yes, absolutely. I'll do a card for you. Sometimes it's because we're comparing ourselves to other people. And, comparison is the thief of joy, my friends. So just stop it. Just know that you are magnificent in your own right. And I think that an oil that could really help here is pink pepper. Now, pink pepper, it's such a beautiful oil. I added some into some hummus the other day with some lemon and made a really lovely dip. But, pink pepper's just helping us to let go of that comparison and that harsh self-judgment. Often we're harsher on ourselves than we would ever be to other people, and we kind of create this distorted view of ourselves that just isn't right. And so pink pepper is just helping us to let go of that, and just to, again, encourage us to accept ourselves as we are, and to actually immerse ourselves in some self-love. On a physical level, pink pepper, as you can imagine, is quite warming, and so it's a nice oil to add in. Again, if you've want to make a nice warming rub, you could put it into some beeswax, or if you're into making things like that, or just into some curry oil. We use the beautiful fractionated coconut oil, and you can make a nice rub for your joints that need a bit of extra warming and love. So pink pepper I wanted to tell you about. I also want to bring in frankincense and melissa. Now, frankincense has been around for centuries. One of the oldest mentions of our essential oils in medical terms was in the Ebers Papyrus, which was an old medical journal, and they mentioned frankincense. But frankincense is so powerful on a physical level, but on an emotional level, it just helps us to let go of lower vibrations, let go of those dark areas of our life that are stopping us from being in alignment, stopping us from seeing our own worth. And then I think when you team that up with melissa, I really want to spend a couple of minutes talking about melissa, because you may not have experienced it before. It is an oil that is a very worthwhile and serious investment. It's over $200 wholesale, melissa. It comes in, that's for 5 mils, because it takes such a lot of plants to create a very small amount of essential oil. But it is so powerful on a physical level, supporting our whole body. However, on an emotional level, it's like connecting us to that spark of light within. It's almost like it shines the light on us so we can see our own magnificence and help us to find our purpose. I think so often, we're like hiding in the shadows and we're fearful. And so this is like inviting us to participate on the level. So it's inviting us to stop playing small and to let go of what is not in harmony, what is not for our higher good. And so I invite you to explore melissa. Now, we've actually got a way of getting melissa for free at the moment as well, but you just connect with me if you need to know any of these things. But they're two powerhouse oils that can be very, very instrumental in helping us to bring about the change we need to bring ourselves back into alignment. Kim, okay, thank you for sharing that. Yes. And it is, Kim's just saying here that, there is a struggle at times with looking at who we actually are and perhaps judging ourselves on our past and asking, what is my purpose? Some of you may have heard me talk, I've been reading a lot about the Stoics, philosophers, and how they handle, they regulate their emotions as opposed to having no emotions or being too ruled by their emotions. And one of the concepts that I've been really mulling on lately is that some people fear death. And yet the Stoics would say, we are dying every day. What happened yesterday is gone to us. It is dead to us. And so, Kim, I would probably say to you, I'd love to have an in-depth chat, maybe privately. But, when we have things in the past that maybe we wish we hadn't had or hadn't done, to look at it and see the lesson and then let it go, because you're not that person anymore, Kim. That was somebody else. And now you're choosing to be a different person from here on in. This is your life. So the important thing, as the Stoics would say, is to live every day. Other than fearing death, it's happening every day. It's gone now. But to truly live each day. So Kim, if you want to keep that chat going, let's connect privately. I'd love to take that further. So yes, so frankincense and melissa. And so when we are using these oils, again, thinking of having an intention of using the oils, and particularly say with melissa and frankincense, and knowing that, for instance, you could say something like, I allow my inner compass to direct my life path. I align with my life's priorities and purpose or mission. And then inhale those oils and just sit with that. Journaling is amazing. You would have seen here on the Spiritual Events directory page, the wonderful Sarah Watkins, who owns that page, got a number of us to come together and collaborate and create a journal using all different styles. And you can actually start journaling your thoughts and feelings for each day. That can be a very powerful part of this holistic process of change and bringing ourselves back into alignment. Here on the spiritual, those of you who are coming to me from the Spiritual Events directory page, I'm also streaming into a couple of other groups, but on the Spiritual Events directory, there are amazing healers and practitioners, and you'll find people on there who you are in alignment with. I was just chatting this morning with the beautiful Jess Beard, who is just such a beautiful soul. So, you know, have a look at what she offers. I love to say, guys, get yourself a life toolkit. I'd love to be in that toolkit with my oily guidance and with the beautiful doTERRA essential oils, but pop other people in there as well. Pop your exercise, your nutrition, your sleep, your rest, all of those things that are vital for you to have a life that is lived in alignment with your true purpose. So let me go on now to Kim, because I don't want to run out of time and not, share those cards, those of you who have asked for them. So, Kim. Okay, now, Kim, I can't remember what you said. Oh, this is for you, Kim. Okay, so this is the same Kim. Kim, your oil, this is really interesting that we've drawn. This is wintergreen, and wintergreen is a powerful oil. We have it in our blend called Ice Blue, which I just love for helping me with some structural issues and for stiffness and sore joints, etc. So it's a really great oil to support healing and to minimize pain. So on an emotional level, Kim, sometimes we need to look at what's holding us in those painful thoughts. So is it our stubbornness? Is it that strong will? Sometimes we need to let go of some of that. And again, feeling like you need to be in control. I come back to what I said earlier about when you know who you are and your purpose, and this is really interesting, you brought this up, Kim. It's like when you know your values, you know who you are, you know what you want, you can actually let go of feeling like you need to control every single part of your life, because you're putting it out there to a higher source, a higher power to support you. And when you stand there, and I want to give you this image that I give a lot of people, is that often we see ourselves on the side of a mountain and we're struggling up that mountain to whatever life has for us, fame, fortune, money, success, and we're struggling. I want you to see a different image, Kim, and everyone else, if you want to grab this image. I want to see you standing on that mountaintop in your full magnificence with all of the beauty, all of the talents, all of the skills that you were given, and you've got your arms outstretched and you're looking at fame, fortune, money, love climbing up the hill towards you. You are drawing it to you like a magnet. And so just knowing that you are magnificent, you don't have to reach down even. You're just drawing it to you effortlessly. And so there doesn't need to be a struggle, and we don't need to be in control of it. You just have to believe it. And so it is about encouraging you just to let go, surrender, and to believe. So this is going to create a place, Kim, for you to release control and to allow the ability to rely on God, whatever God means to you, instead of putting the burden on yourself. Your centering thought is, I surrender this situation to God. I let go of thinking I have to do it all on my own. No, you don't, Kim. I am protected and supported. And your question is, why is it so easy to let go and trust that I am fully supported? Okay. Thank you, Kim. And so just remember, on a physical level, wintergreen is amazing. So if you've just done a hard workout and you need to, help relax and release some of that stuff that's built up in your muscles, or to help those creaky joints, wintergreen is really powerful to add into some carrier oil, or you might want to try the Ice Blue blend. It comes in a really convenient sports rub that makes it really easy to use. So again, if any of these are resonating with you, drop me a note. Love to help you get them wholesale, same price as I do if you don't already have a doTERRA account. And there's lots of freebies this month as well. It's not just about getting you the oils, it's about adding in that ongoing service and support, because to me, I get really sad if people get oils and they don't know how to use them, or those little oils stay locked up in a cupboard. I want to be able to jump out of the bottles and oil you up and make you feel amazing and support you on your journey in life. Sonny, I will do my best. Okay, so let's go to Kerry. Kerry, let's do a card for Kerry. Oh, you've just moved from Tasmania to Queensland. That was a smart move. I live in Queensland too. Now, I think Australia is an amazing country. All of our states have wonderful assets, but I'm a little bit biased because I do love Queensland. Okay, so here we go. We've pulled another oil that I talked about earlier, and this sometimes happens. So, Kerry, balance blend for you, my friend. This is all about, letting go of worry, letting go of fear, just planting yourself. Just be in the moment, okay? Balance is that blend I spoke about earlier. It has frankincense and hoewood and black spruce and lots of other oils that are just encouraging us to connect to our roots, be still, and trust. And so this is going to create the ability to connect and stay grounded and open up a space. This is coming up again, a common thread. We're going to let go so we can open up to new things. Opens up a space for commitment, courage, and stability. And your centering thought, Kerry, is I create balance and stability in my life. Now, what I like about that is, Kerry, is that it's you. I create. Kerry creates. You have the power within, and you can do it with strength and focus. And your affirmation, your question to ask yourself, Kerry, is why is it so easy for me to create stability and commitment? I hope you like that. Balance blend is something I like to put on daily. With oils, guys, it's not just about waiting for something to happen and then using it. It's about prevention. I'm surrounded by oils, and it's like I just use them all the time because I don't want to wait for something to happen. And I have my little daily ritual, so I encourage you to as well. And that's another journey I like to take people on when you come on board in my oily family, to help you set up the rituals that are meaningful to you and to bring them in so that you create habits. So with balance, don't wait till you're starting to feel, like this. Just put it on in the morning. Create these practices. Put it on at lunchtime. Put it on in the evening, okay? It's okay. Learn to trust that inner voice inside. Okay, so then we had Justine. Welcome back, Justine. So let me have a look. How are we going? We've got 12 minutes. All good, all good. Is everyone feeling calmer? Do you have any other questions for me that you'd like to ask? Remember, if you'd like to do a deep dive, message me. I would love you to go and like my Facebook page, Sense of Empowerment, and SCENTS, and I'd love you to go and hop on and have a look at my website as well. Okay, so we've got Justine. You have pulled what we call Cellubel. It's our anti-aging blend, and it has some powerhouse oils in there as well. So if you want to know more about these, I won't go into them now because we don't have time, but love to talk privately. But as much as this is a beautiful oil to use physically to support the structure of our skin and to help, with looking good, this is very much about letting go of deep emotional pain. And so, Justine, only you know what is going on in your life, but this is just going to help you to really connect deeply with yourself and to find that stability from tapping into your own spirit within. It's also going to help you let go of being discouraged because, you do have a powerful support team around you. I hope you all know you are never alone. Connect to the source, connect to your own source, and connect to the power source without whatever that means to you. And this is just going to help you move through, maybe if you're going through a bit of a period at the moment, Justine, where there is that confusion going on. It's going to help you transcend, to rise above it. And we're going to, this is going to help you to dissipate any spiritual darkness. It's going to help you to shine a light within and connect to God, whatever God means to you. It's going to create a higher consciousness and awareness. And your centering thought, Justine, is I release any darkness that has kept me from fulfilling my purpose and increasing my light within. Justine, we are all put on this earth to blossom and grow and to shine our light because our light lights the way for others. And so, Justine, it's time for you to brighten that light and allow other people to benefit from it because you have so much to give. And your question to ask yourself, Justine, is why is it so easy for me to increase my light and raise my vibration? And so that brings me to a point that so often we aren't able to vibrate at that level we want to because we're hanging around the wrong people. And so part of being in alignment is when you know your own values and you know what you stand for and what you want to bring into your life, it's okay to let go of that which doesn't serve you. It doesn't mean that you just suddenly kick family members out. But it means that you create your own boundaries and you create your own inner world to deal with those things. Okay, so let me go on to just do Sonny. That's the last one we'll have time for today. Or we might have time for you, Amanda. We'll just see. Is that a new Amanda? Amanda Stevens, let me know if I have done one for you, because I did do one for an Amanda. And I don't know. Oh, yes, I did yours, Amanda. Cool. Okay, so now we're just going to do one for Sonny, and then we will wrap up. A couple of other oils I wanted to suggest to you. I just wrote down some questions here for you. I'm going to read them. Who or what do I doubt? That can often keep us out of alignment as well. Am I ready to relax my limiting beliefs? Because sometimes we know these things, but there's a part of us that are just stopping us because of fear. So are we prepared to dig deep and look at those limiting beliefs and let them go? And here's the one that I knew I'd written down somewhere. I choose to surround myself with the people who uplift and inspire me. And if you want some help with that process, let's look at getting in some sandalwood. That's a beautiful oil to just help us deeply meditate. And some green mandarin, which will just shine the light on our potential. So there's a couple for you as well. Amanda, I did one for Mandy, and then I did one for Amanda. So you might want to just, yours, Amanda, I'm not sure which one yours was. But anyway, if it's not here in the replay, just connect with me privately and I'll do one for you. How's that? Okay, so this is the one for Sonny. Oh, Sonny, you have one of my favorite blends. It's out of the emotional aromatherapy selection. And this one is called Forgive, and it's the renewing blend. So what I always share that I had a bit of a challenge when I first got this blend, and I loved it. And I kind of, you know how sometimes you sort of get a bit, defensive, like, I don't need to forgive. But forgiveness is not necessarily for the other people, it's for ourselves. When we carry that burden of judgment, it's a really heavy thing, and we can't. If we're carrying all that extra stuff, there's no room for our own renewal. And so what I've learned with forgiveness, and with this oil in particular, it's helping me to soften it. So maybe Sonny, this is helping you. Maybe if you are holding on to some grudges, and maybe there's been some wrongs done to you, this is not suggesting that was right. This is just suggesting that you don't need to carry that around. You don't need to doubly punish yourself. So to let go, just to let go of that blame, any fear around that, and just to know that when you express that forgiveness, you're actually dusting it off and lightening your load. And you're actually, when you step into compassion, you're actually freeing yourself, Sonny. So I hope that makes sense. So this is going to create for you a place where forgiveness can dwell. It creates compassion, growth, and freedom. And from that, it's like a platform to the whole renewed life and positive change. So your centering thought, Sonny, is I open my heart to compassion. I forgive myself and those whom I have not forgiven. And your question? Your question to ask yourself, Sonny, is why is it so easy for me to be compassionate? I have to tell you guys that two elements that get me through so much in life is compassion and gratitude. And so often it's easy to judge other people, but sometimes we're only seeing one side of the story, or one side of the six-sided picture. And so for me, I drop into compassion and think, oh, I wonder what happened to them in their childhood, or I wonder what's happening on their day, or wonder, gosh, maybe they don't even realize that they're looking at me like that, or they don't realize what those words can mean. And that actually kind of softens the blow to me. It's almost like this little gentle shield I put in front of myself. And then the other element I use is gratitude. And I'm just like grateful for an awareness, or grateful for the ability to go into compassion, or grateful for my upbringing, or grateful for my amazing mentors, or grateful for the oils that support me. And it kind of, again, just stops me from taking on. It's almost like if someone's firing arrows at you, why do you want to just catch them and carry them? Why don't you just deflect them? Because then you've got your free hands to gather all the abundance that's there for us. So, oh, great. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Sonny. Okay, so that's a couple of things that have helped me as well. So Another oil that I'm just going to throw in here because we've got a couple of minutes is another tree, surprise, surprise, and it's arbor vitae. And arbor vitae is a beautiful, huge, big tree that grows in the north of Canada, and it's a tree that will live for hundreds and hundreds of years. And when they fall, they can stay intact for decades because they have like their own defense mechanism inside. And so it's not surprisingly then that arbor vitae is a wonderful oil to use physically to, dispel mozzies and things like that. So, but what that teaches us is that life doesn't have to be a struggle, that we do have our own inner defense mechanism, and that, when we trust, that we will be taken care of. And so that I think that with all of what we've chatted about today, if you are feeling out of alignment, if you have got the wobble up, it's really important just to get steadied, get grounded, bring in the balance, bring in adaptive to help you with these changes that you may need to take, and sit with that and journal, ask yourself questions, stop and listen, get away from the noisiness of life, the busyness of life, and go within for your own answers. And then use your oils, use your affirmations to actually help bring this together. And with those questions, write it down and examine it. Avoid judging what comes out. Avoid saying that's silly or no, that's not right. Just write it down and sit with it for a while. And then line that up with, who are you? Do you really know who you are? What do you stand for? What are your values? Because when you know your values, when somebody comes into your circle that's tipping you out of balance, you will know that that's not what's acceptable, and you'll be able to set boundaries. And again, you can do that in a number of ways, and we can use oils to help you with that as well. So I think I would really love for you all to tap into some of what we've talked about today. I hope some of it resonated. But to see yourself as this amazing human being standing on that mountaintop and just being who you were destined to be, and seeing yourself in the way that your creator meant you to be. So have a beautiful week, my friends. I hope you find ways to live in alignment and deeply feel that sense of alignment in your life. If I can be of any service to you, please tell me. Oh, look at that. I've just put up questions. I'm playing around and doing things I don't even know here. Told you I wasn't that tech savvy. But yeah, I'd love to connect with you again, same time next week. And if you'd like to have your free sensational exploration and gift with me, please either text me or message me and be like, I have no idea why that's flashing. I'm so clever. I made that happen without even realizing it. But have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.